a shotgun rider, cruise through the country, maybe pulling all-nighter. Every little body needs a Clyde decider. Come on, baby, be my shotgun rider.
Skip, what's up with the coffee cup?
This is some delicious morning brew from McDonald's.
It's a good effort at sponsorship deal.
We thought we would try a little sponsorship stuff there, and that isn't going to work. But anyway.
Hey, let's get into the weekend. It was a good one. Sweep up in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, that it was a good week for our guys because it was just solid all the way around. I mean, I thought our guys, we got good starting pitching, our defense was good, and we swung the bats and put together some pretty good at bats. And when you do that, now you're not going to win every time, but more often than not, you're going to have a good result. And it just so happened this weekend we did.
And you talked about the bats. Two guys got awards for their bats: Kyle Schwarber and Justin Curitan. Schwarber, freshman of the week, his second time, and Curitan, another player of the week for the Hoosiers. Yeah,
and I'm really happy for Justin Curitan. I mean, that guy's kind of the silent assassin a little bit. If he goes out and he really, and I know a lot of times that's an offensive award, that they look at what guys do offensively, statistically, and what he's able to do defensively is probably the biggest key for us.
Absolutely.
And he ran a lot of balls down this weekend, and so I'm happy for him. I mean, that was, it's an accumulation. I know of a lot of hard work for him, and so very proud of him. And then, of course, Schwarber's been a beast all year, offensively, and he put together another good weekend, and he's really starting to be a threat at the plate.
Yeah, something that really needs to be pointed out: Justin Curitan, your leadoff hitter, an on-base percentage of over 700 for the weekend. Can't get much better than that.
Well, and that's and again, you go back to the 3 wins this weekend. Good things happen when he's on base, and and even on that note, Dustin Muth is starting to get on base more, and those are guys, the older guys in our program, we count on, lean on. When those guys are getting on base, as I said, there's probably some good things to follow. So good for them. Good team stuff this weekend.
And you mentioned Dustin Muth. He's on a 10-game hitting streak. He's hitting over 450 during that stretch. But go back to the pitching on the weekend. We talked on last week's scoop about the solid starting pitching. It was back again this week, and all 3 starters did a good job.
Yeah, starting with Joey on Friday, Joey Donato. It's funny because I'm watching him during the game. I'm like, he's just not as sharp tonight. And then at the end of the game, you come up to me, hand me a sheet of paper, and said that he set the single-season Big Ten strikeout.
Most strikeouts in a game. Big Ten game for a Hoosier.
Not bad for not having his best stuff that night. Followed up, Kyle Hart's been doing what Kyle Hart has been doing all year, which is giving us a consistent outing. He got some run support this time, and so that was good. We feel very comfortable with him in the 2 slot. And then the guy really that we needed something to happen in Game 3 is Chad Martin. Chad, his last couple of games, has thrown very well and gave us 5 strong innings on Sunday, which allowed us to hang in there with a chance to win. So you get good pitching and you play defense like we did, you're always going to be in a position to win. And
the doubleheader on Sunday forced us to get back a little later than we'd like to, but the guys got some rest and they need it this week because they're going to have some academic stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean the doubleheader put us back, later, but when you win a couple, it makes that bus ride shorter. You don't care what time you get back. I say that, but the guys, we're in finals week now. For the fans out there, Skip Scoop, finals week, what we do. We really let the guys focus on. We will leave them alone. We won't see those guys organized until at least late Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, because of the pushback of the series, which we should mention.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday series.
Yep, not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday with Nebraska. We're going to push it all back a day. But anyway, we really let the guys bear down and get after their academics, and we'll pull everybody back together sometime later in the week to get refocused on baseball for what will be a very, very important weekend.
Yeah, and before we went to Michigan, we headed over to your old stomping grounds, Oxford, Ohio, and we ran into an old friend of the show.
Well, you know what? We finally found, we get all these questions from Scott from Darrtown. Well, guess what, folks? We found Scott from Darrtown. Now, a little footnote with that. Scott from Darrtown has now moved to Oxford. So here he is, Scott from Oxford. Oxford. I can't even pronounce it, Kyle. I'm so excited that we found him.
All those questions, Kyle. This is Scott from Darrtown.
We found him.
We found him. All those questions on Skip Scoop. You have anything to say for yourself, Scott?
I'm just trying to come up with questions that are embarrassing.
And you've done a very good job of that. But Scott from Darrtown, everybody.
So there you go. We put a face with the name and all the fans out there. So if you any questions you don't like, make sure you track down Scott from Oxford. But speaking of that, he sent another one in.
Of course
Imagine that. Yeah. When a game is postponed on the road in the middle of a series, what does the team do with the day off? Well, I can tell you exactly what the team does on the day off. They hang out in the hotel. You know, we were very fortunate this weekend. We were by a mall, so the guys spent a lot of time in the mall. I'll tell you what I did, Scott. I read The Hunger Games that day, and then went and saw the movie that night. Jeremy Gray said, "Hey, you want to go to the movie?" And I said, "I got to finish this book." So I read the darn book, and we went to the movie that night. It was awesome. So Hunger Games is really good for those of you that haven't seen it. So we'll go other questions. Dear, this comes from Allison from Bloomington. There are a lot of players in the roster from California. Just wondering, how did you establish a recruiting pipeline there? And what do you do to convince a guy from sunny California to come to snowy Indiana? Does it snow in Indiana?
I believe it's supposed to be 80 this weekend.
Exactly.
All weekend long.
Exactly. So, Allison, really, we just got out there, made it a priority that we wanted to get out there and do some recruiting out there. We've made some contacts. We hit some general areas. We stay a lot in Southern California. But I'll tell you, as far as the guys coming here, this place sells itself. I mean, you're here, Kyle. Why'd you come here?
It's beautiful Bloomington, Indiana, and I think it's not just baseball. You look at other sports. There's a lot of West Coast kids that like to come out and see the Four Seasons in the Midwest.
And I think a lot with the Big Ten Network has helped us to expand, our recruiting base. But Indiana University in Bloomington itself is just a beautiful, beautiful campus. And and I think all of us, like I know I speak for other coaches in the department, we feel like we're doing a pretty good job with our program. The kids are going to want to play for it. So, great question. But we're going to continue, not just California. We will go anywhere and everywhere to find, for players for our program. Skip, this comes from JD in Bruceville, Indiana. Class of '89, so you're right around my age. With the groundbreaking of the new stadium coming in May, are there going to be picture or video updates available at construction of the facilities? Absolutely, JD. We are just around the corner for the groundbreaking on that. We're thrilled, and we're going to do our best to keep you guys informed. And I can see us taking our production on the road.
Absolutely. The number one spot for new stadium updates is going to be Skip Scoop.
Oh, there's no doubt. The university can do their own updates, but you'll find it more in-depth material.
You want the inside scoop, you go to Skip Scoop.
It's exactly. So yes, JD, we will definitely do that and keep you posted. This comes from F in B-Town. I know that the season is over for the school year, but you're going to give away one of those classic gray hats if you've done in the past.
Skip, we got a contest. See, we were on the Big Ten Network last week. We're on this week. We're on the following week. Well, the final week of the season, it's a wild card weekend. Decision hasn't been made where they're going to go.
A wild card weekend means that they could go anywhere they want in the Big Ten?
Yeah, they're going to, depending on, what kind of storyline, standings they got. So we're going to encourage people to Twitter attack them at Big Ten Network. Tell them why Indiana Ohio State should be the series to go to.
Twitter attack. I like that. So you heard it right there, folks. Kyle knows all the Twitter stuff, but Twitter attack them.
You can see it at the bottom there, at BigTenNetwork.com, or Twitter.com, at Big Ten Network. Hashtag Skip Scoop. Whoever has the best reason why, we'll not only post it on Skip's Twitter, but we'll give you a gray hat.
So tell the Big Ten Network why Indiana University should be that last game on the Big Ten Network. And I'll tell you what, we'll pick the best one out of that, and we'll reward them with one of those awesome gray hats.
And I have one of the gray hats. They really are awesome.
They are a hot commodity. We don't give them out to anybody. So, pictures.
Do it.
Okay, here we go. We got obviously a friend of IU baseball again, Clayton Anderson, rocking a concert here, little 500 weekend. But our managers Pat, Ben, and Ben decided to roll out there and. We will talk to Ben about it. Looks to be an Alabama hat on top of the Hoosier baseball thing. So
I don't know about that.
I've never had managers run laps in practice, but there's always a start. So we're going to do that. And here we go. It's been a long time, and he finally is back. But he comes back strong because this is Ross Dickerson, and Ross is getting ready to take a flight in his Flying Fortress here, and this is really cool. It's his 55th birthday. And Ross was a former pilot in our armed services. I don't think he flew one of these bad boys, but check out Ross. There's his little plane in the background, and then Ross actually wore the IU hat up in the air there in his Flying Fortress. But always good to get. You're going to get something good when Ross sends it in.
Absolutely, comes out of retirement and comes in strong.
And this one from last weekend. This is our trainer Joel Lageman. His grandmother was up in the Michigan area, and Joel went to visit her and I guess apparently, Kyle, she said that she would be happy to give our team a pep talk anytime that we needed one. She looks like she could give you a good little pep talk right there. So
if you ever need it, just get a hold of Joel.
Well, so some good pictures there. Keep those things rolling. But something special happened in the broadcast of our series this weekend. We started from humble beginnings,
as you can see with this picture.
And I don't think people realize how humble that is. Yes, that is a trash can. Yes, that is a book. And this is our studio, folks.
That flip cam is all of 6 inches.
But you know what? We've not only reached our viewers, and it's made an impact with our viewers, and we appreciate the loyal support we've gotten there, but we got national this weekend. And the Big Ten Network, as you can see here, picked up our show. And I got to give all the credit to you, Kyle. This was your brainchild. And so we're so proud of what we're able to bring, and who knows?
Check it out on the national stage.
Who knows?
You can see you got all the athletes coming in here. That they get all dressed up.
This is pretty cool.
For this event every year.
Tracy Smith is
Sounds like we've got some Skip Scoop fans out here.
Tracy Smith has really taken to YouTube. He's put himself out there, maybe more so than any other coach in all of baseball.
Well, he's got his own version of the David Letterman show. He runs a weekly show and just shows the ins and outs. It's really informal, but it's a way just to communicate what's going on at IU and the exciting things that are going on in the Hoosier baseball program.
But another episode of Skip Scoop. We'll see you next week, and boys get some finals and big tough weekend with Nebraska. So see you next week.